Oh my goodness, I don't even know if this is going to go to press. I'm doing my very best. This has been sort of like a staycation for me, I want to tell you. Having all this time to watch these YouTube videos, and some of them, if you start to get a bad feeling like maybe I shouldn't be watching this, then you should stop watching it. I mean, somebody might start off saying something, oh yeah, I agree with that, and then they say something that appalls you. The other day this happened to me, actually. Maybe pastors need to be having more conversations with their wives, because I don't want to be up there in the pulpit preaching this stuff. I want men to be saying this because, well, at least according to conservative Christian biblical theology, men are supposed to be the ones preaching, but I'm not saying that I don't listen to lady preachers and that they can't have a very valuable role. But just read what Paul says in the New Testament. So, I know sometimes in the past I have tried to play some sort of role online, and some men were very incensed, that I would dare try to preach anything. No, it's not. It's not about me trying to usurp the male role to be, the person who's supposed to be the preacher, okay? Please, it's not about me usurping anything, but, I mean, when Paul says women need to keep their heads covered, then why do we criticize Muslim ladies for covering their heads when Christian ladies don't keep their heads covered? Used to be Mennonites would keep their heads covered, but I think only the conservative Mennonites do nowadays. I saw it going from a scarf to a doily to a nothing. They just, it doesn't really matter, because as we try to fit in with secular society, that dictates our behavior. So I just have to say, I don't know, there's a little bit of pushback here. I just have this notion. I have this notion that we really need to take the Bible more seriously. It's not just a self-help manual. It's not just, there's just a few things you need to know, and the rest of it is just how to get by in the modern world. And the modern world, the Bible says friendship with the world is enmity with God. That doesn't mean you just say, I oppose everything. I oppose all modern technology. Even our modern day Amish people are using cell phones and riding electric bikes. So I just have to say every Christian has compromised to some extent. But I don't think that makes them less Amish. I mean, it's up to the Amish to decide if that makes them less Amish. And actually, it's up to each bishop, I believe, that says whether you can do this or you can not do this. And so that's very similar to Islam, Not to offend people. But where are the pastors that really encourage an in-depth Bible study? Where are they? Well, if you would attend my church, you would know. Or maybe if you have to have the in-depth, you would only get the in-depth Bible study if you signed up for Sunday school. And I did go to a church like that for a while. I did go to a Baptist church. The pastor was very good. He was very knowledgeable. His sermons were long. They were not, it was a white church, so he's not shouting from the pulpit or anything like that. Very erudite. He's one of the best pastors I've ever known. And, I've never really known a bad pastor, I have to say that. But within the church. There were problems within the church, within the congregation. Because people were very cliquish, or something, with these people. Like, for example, I don't know, I'm just being vague. Am I being boring? I'm sorry. I am not trying to gossip. That's the thing. Well, she's gossiping. We better stop listening. I'm not naming names. Most of the time I don't remember names. That's why I don't name names. I'm saying this is what happened to me. And it didn't happen in just one place. There was a female there that had a position of power, and she led a women's Bible study. And because I had been attending the church by myself, because at the time my husband, it's not that he wasn't a Christian, he just didn't feel like he wanted to go. He wouldn't get up early enough for Sunday school or something like that. Which is, it's perfectly fine. He works hard. He doesn't want to get up early for the 9:30 Bible study, or Sunday school as we call it. Well, at first I was somehow recruited to be in this ladies' Bible study, but it was kind of like a single ladies' Bible study. And I thought, at one point I just decided, since I'm married, I'd rather be with the married people's Bible study. Not because I didn't like the lady, I just felt that it was more appropriate because my husband did attend the church, and he didn't always attend the Bible study, but he attended the church. And I was a very young person, in my early 20s, started having kids really young, and not having a lot of money, and just having a good heart and being zealous and wanting to do the right Christian thing. And I left that Bible study thinking it would be no problem, and I started going to the other Bible study because you had the freedom to go whichever Bible study you wanted to. And I just remember encountering this lady in the hallway, just in passing in the church between maybe the Bible study time and the services. And I just kind of smiled at her, a shy smile because I'm not this big introvert. And this woman just gives me the look like she wants me to drop dead. And I was like, that really had an impact on me. These are the kinds of things that pastors need to be aware of in their churches. Some of their underlings, they're kind of nasty, and I don't know, the women can be kind of catty. But, to your face, they'll be like, "Oh, I love you, Pastor." And, "Oh, I'm such a pious woman." But, since I said I don't want to gossip, and I'm not, but I'm so sad that this happened to one of my children that we sent to a Christian school. Now, this school was very far away, so it wasn't our local church. So it was a long commute. But this was years ago, but my child was so mistreated by this lady that taught math, and it was supposed to be a Christian school. This lady humiliated her in front of the class. There is something wrong here. I mean, I want to tell you folks, if you want to know why society is not improving, let us look at the churches before we start pointing our fingers at other religions and, the culture is so bad. Aren't we the ones who are supposed to be the keepers of that precious knowledge of what is right and what is wrong? Why are our parishioners so compromised? Not all, but why are so many so compromised that society has been declining to such a degree? I'm leaving you with that question. Thank you for listening.